Thanks, Samantha. So I'm up next. You guys mind if I move around a little bit? Is this okay? So I think it's important I tell my story here, the backstory, because we all have a story, don't we? How we got to this point. So I'm going to give you a little bit of flavor about my story. I'm going to take you back to 1977. Remember 1977, anyone? 1977, wow, huh? So this is what 1977 felt like for me. Half-breed, mulatto, Oreo cookie. That's what I heard on the playground in elementary school. How'd that taste, huh? Walking around on the recess. Oreo cookie. Not black enough, nor white enough. See, but the story gets more interesting. Mom and Dad escaped from the deep South, right? Black man, I'm getting emotional here already. White woman. I'm going back here in a while, sorry guys. They run off to Washington, D.C. Have poor little me in 1969, all biracial me, all right? Disowned from their families. Mom's family said, we don't marry a black man. You're done. Here comes little old me in Washington, D.C., 1969. No relationship with extended family, grandparents, no Christmas cards, nothing. So when I'm 8, go to visit the grandfather in Knoxville, Tennessee, right? But before I got there, my dad's from the deep South. So all I heard growing up was that white people were crackers and rednecks. Can you imagine sitting at your breakfast table and that's what you hear? White people are crackers and rednecks. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but it meant something bad. Right? So I go to Knoxville, Tennessee to meet Grandpa. Mom wasn't welcome, but I was. So I sit there at the coffee table. My grandfather looks me in the eyes and he says, how's your nigger dad doing? Whew. Whew. I'm 43 years old. And that still hurts. So think about that. So come back, tell Mom and Dad. Never went back to Knoxville again. See, but there's more to that story than that, because Samantha touched on it. It's really hard to connect with others if you're not comfortable with who you are. Right? So, parents had some addiction issues. They were drug addicts. Let's just call it what it is. I can still hear the sound through that bedroom door of my mom getting high. It's tough stuff when you're 8. But you push through, right? In the interim, I struggled academically. I was in the slow class. You know what it's like when the teacher pulls you out and walks you with the slow learners? That death march right between all the other students, and you hear people whispering, short bus. Tough stuff, huh? So folks, I'm not here just to give you a little bit of taste of my story. I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was 9. My parents suffered from addiction issues my entire childhood. Can you imagine what it's like walking into elementary school with your African-American father, but you look white and he looks black, the stares you get? Even from the teacher. That pause when there's that cognitive dissonance. Like, why is the white kid with the black man? You see, as early as 5, I picked up on the subtleties of language and race and tone and context. And I carried that around with me for too many years, like emotional baggage. My nickname could have been Samsonite. I mean, literally, I just had so much baggage. Up through high school, folks, I didn't trust white people. And I looked white. Struggling with my identity, my parents, the dysfunction that was going on, and I had no one to talk to. Who do you go to in an elementary school and raise your hand and say, my parents are drug addicts? You don't. My dad's beating the hell out of my mom. Who do I talk to about that? You don't, right? So you just internalize it and you rationalize. Tough stuff, right? So I had to dig my way out of my hole. I didn't really have a choice, did I? And Samantha touched on it a little bit, and what helped me, which was my emotional bulletproof vest, was the power of self-talk. That I needed to be so comfortable in my skin with who I was, because I didn't love myself for a very, very long time, and I didn't know who I was. So I had some trigger words that helped me when I was feeling down and alone. I am, I can, I will. So as I close here, folks, sorry I got a little emotional on you.
You're in the right place.
But this is tough stuff. So in closing, I'll say, whomever you're dealing with, a couple things that I wanted to share with you. There are a lot of kids out there are like me that are carrying around that baggage and are scared to come and raise their hand and say, I need help. Now, if I had some teachers around me who maybe had a little bit more emotional intelligence, might have figured that out. But in the interim, I would suggest to all of you, this power of self-talk is powerful. Because if you are not comfortable in your own skin, it doesn't matter what you say, what someone else says to you. So I began to recognize those conversations going in the back of my head that says I was too stupid. I didn't connect. I wasn't worthy. Right? And then I recorded them. I wrote them down. And then I repeated it, and I started dissecting why does that record keep playing. And then I found my words when I was alone, down, and isolated. And fortunately, it helped me dig my way out of my hole. So what do I do now? I go to groups, associations, AA meetings, prisons, you name it, and talk to folks who feel isolated, alone, and alienated, and don't feel like they've got an opportunity. See, I believe, folks, that there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. So I think it's up to us to help some folks get dressed in the morning. Thank you.